In the 20s, Granny told, grey bun tight behind her head, did what she never did and stayed in bed. Up the road the tram had left on time. Granda's mate looked at his watch, shook his head and glanced behind. Down the road a man boarded, aimed a gun and shot him dead. Granda went to work, they quartered his time, blessed himself quietly as he praised the sign. Last Christmas, boarding a window broken the night before, his daughter Jane hopped like a robin, said they should have stayed in Scotland. Chance had his way there. I closed the door and waved goodbye, drove home to a fire, his armchair polished and in my car. Explosions behind the fender. Poker sizzled, cracked when Granda burned silverfish. Layer of bricks, breaker of stones, set the kettle on the hob, turned it to low burning at the fire, came home late seldom, palmed his moustache, with wet thumb tugged his waistcoat, talked about coins often in his armchair plinths, coping with exact curve. Second one's a very early poem from a book which came out about 25 years ago called Early Morning Mass. And like all young Catholics of my generation, we were all roped into being altar boys, you know. I seem to be about 1 million miles from that now. Early morning Mass for my mother and father. Once I served Mass. The marble steps sore and white like mother of cloudy pearl, on bare knees under a coarse black soutane. The aging priest said the Our Father twice, where the sun shone through the blue of the Blessed Virgin or the red of the Sacred Heart, to the rumble of trams speeding and sparking the long decline to the city, and bells knelled when the host was raised to the putting of mill horns above the heads of the old and poor. This is not particularly inspiring stuff in terms of its content. There's a house in Monaghan called Annamacurry, which Tyrone Guthrie used to own. It's now administered by the two arts councils, north and south. I'm one of the advisors from the Sins to the one in the north. And it's a place where writers, painters, and all the rest of it can stay in. And it's an extremely creative place, great place to have crack and to go to the Black Cache at night time and get pissed and all the rest of it, you know. But I was out in the back walking the fields, and I was reading through, I wasn't aware of what was going on in Belfast. And I suddenly saw in the Belfast Telegraph 2 photographs of 2 boys I had taught. And it just said, Ormo Road Boogies Massacre. And I wrote this sort of very quickly when I was down here. And it just says, in memoriam James Kennedy and Peter McGee murdered in the Ormo Road Boogies Massacre. Like the wild flower's yellow heart to blue leaf, pushing into early spring, I tried to look up past pine needles, dropping rain from above, stand mesmerized as each splat smudges print and runs down faces I have taught. I cannot see the pain on James Kennedy's face or the fear in the eyes of Peter McGee. Even the Lenten rose looks down with velvet spots, drops his head over stems and leaves where rainbows like blood flow down nature's arteries. I don't know why you were there or why your number was up, your schoolboy phrase, but I see your eyes shut as you drink out windows on warm school days, my voice reproachful now that you are gone about your lack of interest, your easy downtown ways. In the first Gulf War, I don't know,